Mid-camp takeaways for the Vols 4 downs is now, and it's brought to you by Medicare Misty.
4 downs. 4 questions. 4 answers. The Dave Hooker Show.
4
downs. A presentation of offthehooksports.com.
I got some wild and woolly ones too. You ready? Because I mean, some of these are out there, Caleb. I'm afraid you might think I'm crazy, or I might get the
"That's crazy."
I hope not, but one of them has to do with Nico. All right, Coop, what should we do? By the way, a new ball report with Cooper Mays brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. Integrity Matters, 50 years in East Tennessee, coming up this weekend. But let's get to those mid-preseason practice takeaways.
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe. Coop here. First down.
Something happens to Nico. It's Gaston Moore. Gaston Moore ran with the first team yesterday. Nico Maleava was out with a stomach bug. Everything looked just fine from those that I talked to. So I'm just telling you, Jake Merklinger may end up being the greatest quarterback since Johnny Unitas. But this is going to be Gaston Moore's offense, especially early. If something happens to Nico, I'm going to speculate that even late it would. And I'm here to tell you that this offense, even with a limited player in terms of physical ability, will be fantastic if somebody knows the intricacies of it. I'm not saying they'll be as good with Moore as they would with Nico, but I'm telling you shouldn't raise the red flag if Gaston Moore is your backup. You don't want to lose Nico no matter what. But I've heard great things about Gaston Moore for 2 years, and I'm going to continue to preach from that soapbox.
You can continue to preach from it. That just means Jake Merklinger hasn't arrived to me. Okay.
I'm sorry. To me, that's about 30% of it. About 70% of it is Gaston Moore knows it.
Dave, how have you been a guy who's covered practice so intently for 25, 30 years and not realize that when coaches tout walk-ons, 90% of the time, it just means that the guys they wanted to be the backups in that spot are not good or as good as they thought.
This is true.
And now you're following John Bishop. You're falling for Gaston Moore. Dave, it's by default. The people they want to emerge at those spots are not emerging. It's more of a red flag than it is a positive.
Okay, I disagree because I think Moore Moore's like 38 years old. Merklinger's, 18.
You keep falling for the trap. You keep falling for the trap of head coaches lying to you.
You have, yeah. Trust me.
No, I know you know that when they lie.
I'm going by their actions, and you would have to admit Moore running out there means he's the second string back. But let me ask you, how much of it's Moore? How much of it is Merklinger? And Merklinger did get first team snaps too. I'm not saying that he didn't get any first team snaps.
I think it's Merklinger not emerging.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's Merklinger not emerging. I think Jake Merklinger has not emerged the way they want him to. They're not believing in him. And I think that's the issue right now.
All right. Takeaway. Here we go. Second down, Coop.
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
I'm here to tell you right now that Dante Thornton is going to have an impact on this receiver core. And that's the only statement I'm going to make. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know outside. I don't know inside. But his name's come up too often. He's too talented. His head wasn't in the right space last year. Not in a bad way, but wasn't in the right space last year. Caleb, he's going to be a factor. He's going to swing a game at some point this year.
Dante Thornton specifically?
Yeah, Dante Thornton, yes. And then I've got third and fourth down coming up.
I think Dante Thornton could definitely swing a game. I think he he would have swung. He could have swung the Missouri game. Remember, he gave Tennessee the lead last year and then got hurt on that play for the season. So I think I could see Dante swinging a game. I could see him absolutely swinging a game. I don't know if it's – I still think I disagree with you, but for different reasons with Gaston Moore and Deshaun Bishop. I think they're desperate at those spots for a backup and a running back. But I think they're so loaded at receiver, I just don't see how Dante Thornton swings a game. honestly. I think that right now they're just protecting Brew. They already have left for other receivers that we'll probably mention on this segment. I don't see how Dante Thornton swings a game because I think they're too deep.
Okay. What down, Coop?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
And to your point, they don't alternate those guys, which is a great point. I don't believe Peyton Lewis is a real factor for this football team in September. I think it's October at best.
And that's why they're turning to Deshaun Bishop, and that's why they're in trouble. That's the big issue. They're in trouble because they don't have that running back yet.
See, that's where you and I disagree, though. I think Bishop is going to be a good player. I'm not going to say great player, but I think he's going to be a good player.
But even Bishop can't be a feature back, and this is the thing. If Peyton Lewis doesn't emerge until October, Tennessee is in trouble.
Okay.
And
now,
that's the real issue.
Right. Last takeaway, and you can go across the board if you would like to. But mid-season takeaways.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
I'm still worried about left guard. I'm still concerned about left guard. Andre Carrig, got out there. Listen, you're a transfer. You're a year in the program. You shouldn't be battling for the starting left guard job. Okay. You should be leading. You should have that job wrapped up, especially looking at the guys behind him who are not as physically talented. Left guard's still an issue. That's my final takeaway. Brought to you by Medicare Misty. Let me get your thoughts on that. How concerned should Tennessee be? And I remind you that our midseason takeaways brought to you by Medicare Misty.
19 years this year. I've been in the community since 1993. You're getting a lot of information. Unlike when you were working, they made the choice for you. Now you have to make the choice. Come to us and let us help you make it easy. Call Medicare Misty, MedicareMisty.com or 423-777-5577. Let us help them sleep at night.
And we call her Medicare Misty.
I remind you, Medicare Misty is licensed in over 40 states, so no matter where you are watching or listening, you can get free Medicare advice from Medicare Misty. Left guard's still a concern, and that's the final major scrimmage. At this point, would you take C+ from left guard?
Yes, and I don't know if they can get C+. You're
say.
right. It's a major concern. I've been screaming this to the high heavens since the end of December last year. I've been saying it. And here's something that stood out with me about left guard being a concern. And it happened last year a lot. I criticized Heupel. Do you remember, Dave, how often we criticized him on short yardage plays for not getting under center when he did it with Princeton Fant all the time in 2022?
Yes.
I think the difference was he had Jerome Carvin at left guard in 2022, and he did have left guard in 2023. I
had not put two and two together, but you that is a great point. And also, let's be honest. Cooper Mays, even though 100% healthy after Florida when he came back, still had conditioning issues because you can't condition unless you're actually in games because of the adrenaline that gets pumping and all that. So, Caleb, I think that's a great point. Maybe he didn't have the faith in the interior of the offensive line to get those tough yards. I hadn't thought of it that way. Fantastic point.